Okay, so we're going to go over my top 5 evolutions for the whole Immortal Become Immortal. These are going to be my top 5. We got some cards that you probably know about and some cards that you probably don't know about. I just think, personally speaking, there's so many good cards. I wanted to start with one, Szymanski. Now, by the time you're watching this video, Szymanski is expired now, but this was actually a very good card because it allowed you to get incisive, ping pass, and long pass, and it allowed you to get all the attacking rolls for the cam while still being a good defensive play. In fact, in the background, what I'm doing right now is I'm actually playing a game of Rivals, giving someone a free win, and you can see, look what I've got here. I've got just over here Szymanski here on the ball, just like this on the ball, and I'm actually got him a bit earlier. So I'm actually doing him. I think he's a very good card. 92 sprint speed, has amazing shooting. It just lacks the penalties, but who cares about that? And the crossing, who cares about that as well? But I think, honestly, he's a fantastic card. You cannot go wrong with a card like this if you're asking me. Personally speaking, he has everything. Got the physicality. The only downside is he is 6'1". So in terms of height, he's going to be a bit on the tall side. But that's what you'd want for a defensive player. Maybe for an attacking player, you don't exactly want that. So I've done him anyway just to be on the safe side. But I think he's a fantastic card. And I wanted to throw him in there as one of the cards that I'm potentially doing. I've done a Pepper Puppeteer, and then I'll decide on Sunday who I'm actually doing. The next card is Oxlade-Chamberlain. Again, there's a lot of other evolutions that you've seen, for example, on foot.gg and even on Footbin. But some of these evolutions people are putting around on Twitter have expired. So don't go believing everything that you see. Some of these are with expired evolutions. There's a few cards here that are new. You can see, for example, like this one. I didn't actually see until today, but if you intro to stats limits, if you have intro to stat limits, you could actually get a pretty good combination. But I think most of those people don't really have these combinations. And I think, okay, yeah, it's a nice card. Don't get me wrong. But not many people have this exact combination. So that's something just to bear in mind. I still think it's a decent card as well. But not everyone has these combinations. So some of these cards here are decent. But again, not everyone has these combinations. So that's something you really got to bear in mind. Even this menu card, I was looking at him in the beginning, and I was like, you know what, it's a decent card, but I looked at it in games, nah. But anyway, look, we'll come back to this one. Have a quick look here. Who's this one? I'm not seeing this card yet. Is this an active available evolution? It is. 89 finishing, not the best. 95 sprint speed though. That's a decent card, to be honest. That's actually a decent card. If you want a bit of a blank canvas. When you're looking, if you look at these cards, well, you want to look at their base cards. Any play styles? No play styles. So you know what? We're gonna come back to this. Lee Youngju. I think that's how you say her name. Lee Youngju. We're trying to come back to this. Don't know why she hasn't appeared on foot.gg. Anyway, we'll come back to that in a second. Right? But Ox is what I want to put in. There's two variations of Oxlade. This is the attacking variation. I think it's understandable. If you want the rolls, you have to go for this one. But this Oxlade-Chamberlain, unfortunately, you can't choose the playstyles because you got the Duelis Miadolo. I understand that's like 10 games. That's like another 3 games. That's like right there, 23 games. But if you're doing what I do, let's say every 20 minutes you just go into a game, score and go, put your controller down and give someone a free win, you can actually get this done in under a day. So if you are leaving this until Sunday to make your mind up, you're fine. Pushing it to Wednesday is probably a bit too late. But this Oxlade-Chamberlain is completely fine. If you can't do this Oxlade-Chamberlain, I would say the other one, which is the one that I'm probably going to be leaning towards, is this one. Now, yes, okay. This guy's team the season stats. That's what I want him. Good sprint speed. And the only downside is you don't get the attacking playstyles, but you get the defensive playstyles. I'm leaning towards this one, but this one has 92 defensive awareness, whereas this one only has 84. So at least with this one, I can play this card as a center mid as well. But I understand if someone wants to do attacking variation, that's completely up to you. But I think instead of doing the attacking variation, I got another card for you, which I'll show you as my third recommendation in my top 5. But I think this card for an all-arounder, I think this is fantastic. You can play him in CDM, center mid, and you can play him on cam. Yes, he only gets the cam Playmaker Plus, which is the disadvantage. But I say if you want a CDM, I know he's not the tallest, but he's one of those deep line playmakers, can work very, very well. But anyway, let's move forward to Faser. So she comes in third. I think, again, another one with Duelis Miadolo. Another downside with Duelis Miadolo with this one, Oxlade-Chamberlain. you're basically forced to use finesse shot and the rapid playstyles. Even if you want to, you can't even combine it because you can't even give the third playstyle. Wish you could choose one of these. You can't. So that is one of the biggest downsides. But with Faser, she's a very good card. As it's a CDM variation over here. You can see she gets a bit of everything. She gets a 99 sprint speed, 96 finishing. Free hits cross, who cares about that? But the 99 sprint speed really stand out, being 5'5", top agility and balance, and good defending as well. Could be better. But if we go here to the cam variation, which I believe is this one over here. Yep, this one. You can go with this cam variation. So it's sport for a bit of truth. I think if it had to really come down to three, I would say these are my top three. Scissorman, because he can do a bit of everything. He's a bit of a taller player. If you're looking for the more player that can do a bit of everything, then I would say go with Chamber. If you're looking for just that defensive, pure powerhouse, I think Scissorman, especially you can give him incisive. That's why I put him kind of above. But that's why Oxlade still goes in. And then I would say, for example, this Faser card here. Again, she's also extremely good. And you can see, look, 99 finishing, 96 finishing. Her shooting is actually better than 93. It's just her penalties make the overall stat look lower. She's everything that you want. 91 finishing. Defense awareness is okay, so she can still play that center mid role. Strength lacks, but 5'5". I mean, you're not going to really complain. But yeah, I think that's another combination. So I'll say either one of these two is up to you. If you want to go stats head to head, it's a bit like this. And you can see Trent's just slower. Trent actually has the same shooting, just better shot power, but the rest is in contention. She has better passing, but has made a free kick accuracy, and she's maxing out on a curve and 99 short passing. And the agility and balance, she wins. It's the defending that she loses, and you can argue the physicality battle as well. Then we're going to go to Joe Linton. Now, this is a card that is basically almost extinct, very hard to find, so I want to be very careful with dropping this one in, but I'll give you a spare one as an alternative. 96 sprint speed, so will last you a very long time, maybe even beyond team of the season. I think as a centre mid, he's fine. As a cam with a finesse shot playstyle, it's a bit bad. But if you're looking for a card that maybe you want to put incisive on, or if you want a bit of a blank canvas for the playstyle plus, and you want someone who's a bit tall that can play that centre mid role, I think he's a decent card. Brazilian links as well. So I think he's another decent card that's probably worth considering. And then this another card that I found as well, but this one's already expired. I chose Scissorman just above him just because Scissorman's got just a bit better stats in a few key areas. And this one's a bit taller. Gravenberch is also another one. So if you want to do this Miadolo, I think he's a decent card as well. The only thing I would say with this one is you kind of want to go... So this one's the cam variation. Wait, 1 second. That's the cam variation. Where's the CDM? Where's the CDM variation? Where's the CDM? Hang on 1 second. I'm just going to double check this. I think I may have made a mistake here. Hang on. Why did I add him? Why did I add him to the list? 85 defending. Why did I add him to the list? Ah, here it is. This one. Sorry, this one I was referring to. This one's actually a decent one. Look, the sprint speed on the normal Gravenberch is a bit of a pain as well. Like you have the normal Gravenberch where he's a bit like he's got 90 sprint speed, which is fine. But you know, you're only talking about a few. But you see, as a CDM with this combination with Gladiator, as a CDM, look, he can still play that box role, play that CDM role, 94 defense awareness. With a shadow, he's very, very good. And he can still give you that physical presence with being a midfielder if you missed on a Scissorman as well. Another decent card that I wanted to add in. I was kind of wondering, Scott McTominay also gets in. But again, he's a card that's very much extinct. If you wait, you could open a Gladiator. And I think he is a very good card as well. And that basically concludes it. We have a few other cards as well. I put this card over here. Chamberlain, I think that's how you say his name. I think he's a bit of a different underrated card, but you can put Fupa Patera again, but you know I'm not going to include him because he's basically expired now. And then we have a few other obvious ones. Ending up being a top 10 evolution one. We got Teddy, but she is gone again. She's extinct. But just in case anyone does have her, I think she's really the key choice here because she has a bit of everything. 5'3", good physicality. Sorry, good agility and balance. Her physicality can be better. Don't get me wrong, but it's decent. She's 5'3" anyway. Amazing passing, shooting, and acceleration. It's kind of what you want. And she's got, of course, 99 defensive awareness, and she can play the cam roles and then just play a CDM deep line playmaker. So I think she kind of goes in as being a universal card as well. 9 interceptions. I think she's an actually insane card. And that basically concludes it. There isn't really that many other choices, to be honest. I'll show you quickly the filters that I'm running right now. Why is it all my browsers are frozen? Look, there isn't that many cards here. You know, there's a few cards here that maybe you can have a quick look at, and maybe you can have a glance at. But there isn't anyone. Scott McTominay kind of has a bit of everything. Hobbiger has some as well. I believe that is it. And there's a few other cards. Chris Salvador, Vitoris Miodolo. So I just did some filters in. Got the main stats as you can see. But that's just something to bear in mind. That would be what end up being a top 10. But anyway, the ones that I probably would recommend if I had to put down top 3, Chamber for a bit of everything, but not this variation. But if you really like Chamber, you can go for the Cam variation. Scissorman is very good, but you probably can't do him anymore. And that's why I'd say for the all-rounder, I would say go with Oxlade-Chamberlain. I think you can do everything. Yes, he likes the Cam play roles. If you want the Cam player, I would say go for Faser. I think Faser is the best of the cams that's out there. Although you are limited to the playstyles, probably that's one of the downsides. Joe Linton also goes in with giving you a bit of an option because at least with the Joe Linton, although he's extinct, he gives you a bit of an option. Otherwise, Graven Birch could also be that good CDM. So I kind of give you a bit of everything, and also they can play centre mid as well. I've kind of given you a bit of mix of a lot of cards. This is the end of the video, but we're gonna have a quick look at it. It's like this is the Onyango card everyone's talking about, but it's actually not the case when you look at the full list available. Now this card here is one that I'm just looking at now. Now because she's a blank canvas, she might be a decent card because you could effectively choose any system. What I do worry is she's not on foot.gg. There's only one of her. Not she doesn't have a sister or anything. Why is she not here? easysbc.io. Let's have a quick glance. We're gonna do become immortal camp. Let's have a quick look. Here. Okay, so you have to put her in Hawk, Gladiator, become Mortal 1, become Mortal 2. Okay. Interesting. It's a very nice card, to be honest. The real benefit is you have a bit of a blank canvas, but then you get, I was thinking, but with Hawk and Gladiator, it kind of forces playstyles on you. That's what I was looking at. With Hawk and Gladiator, it kind of forces some playstyles on you, so you got to be careful. I've not really found any good blank canvas, but you know what? She's actually a very good card. Long shots are a bit suspect, and acceleration could be higher, but she's a decent card. Is anyone else here that I've not seen? Kante, I kind of explained that he's a decent card as well. And you know what? Why not? Sprint speed lets him down a little bit. And that is why maybe you want to probably do a Graven Birch instead of Kante, but I can understand why you would. Is anyone here that I've not seen? Well, anyway, look, there's a few other cards that maybe probably some that I've missed. But I've done all the filters on foot.gg, and unfortunately, on this one, you can't really choose the best system. Why should I do? If I go evolution players, can I not choose by stats? We'll do one thing just to close this off. Actually, we'll try something on here. Evolution players. What's become evident is that Immortality. And then we're gonna put. No, we don't. You see. It's hard. A lot of these filters don't work. But anyway, look, there's so many variations. I'll leave it out there. But anyway, thanks for watching. Catch you next time. Peace.